Rising sea levels have posed a grave threat to a fragile ecosystem in France. It is one of Europe's largest wetlands and a host to an extraordinary variety of wildlife and vegetation. The region is a wildlife paradise. However, in the last few years, climate change has disrupted the balance in this unique ecosystem. Our next report brings you all the details.
Glistening waters, a shining sun, and a flamboyance of flamingos. This is the Camargue National Park, located near France's Mediterranean coast. A third of the region is made up of lakes and marshlands. And while water adds to the unique beauty of the place, it also poses a threat. Experts say that rising sea levels are endangering the Camargue's unique ecosystem.
Our breeding of the Camargue bulls has been based here since 1950, and we saw many effects of the advancing of the sea and of the salinity of the soil. As the soil is salty, the grass grows less, so we lose quality of our grazing land and we have to give much more hay. Financially as well, it is more difficult. The sea advances and so does the coastal line. And this provokes tidal waves which leave a lot of salt during winters. We know the spring after, we will have less grass again.
The Camargue is also famous for its natural salt production, which is drawn from its one-of-a-kind pink lakes. It's the high concentration of salt in the water that gives it its color. The salt is harvested and stashed in the tall white and grey mountains. The region produces around 500,000 tons of salt every year. Semi-wild white horses roam and graze. The Camargue horse is an ancient breed native to the region and thought to be one of the oldest breeds in the world. The region is also special to foodies. There is Camargue rice, red in color with a natural nutty flavor. The rice is prized by chefs around the world. It seems like the place has everything and yet faces grave danger.
So we can notice that the beaches have decreased a lot. Since 3 or 4 decades, the beaches have decreased. The rocks arrive, the sand decreases. For example, we have a few days, 2 or 3 days of snow when before we would never be able to see it.
Scientists at the European Union's Joint Research Centre in Italy say that half of the world's sandy beaches could disappear by the end of the century if climate change continues unchecked. A study conducted in 2020 hints that up to 40% of shoreline retreat could be prevented by reducing the greenhouse gas emissions that are driving climate change. But also added that large and growing populations living along the coast will also need to be protected, with other measures being taken before it is too late. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.